My job is basically to go around the world and put together hack events for developers so that we can expose our technologies to them, and also that they can build around those and build these hacks. So what I'm going to do is just give you a little bit of background about our hack program. So the hack program started as an internal thing about 6 years ago. At that time we had about 3,500 developers at our office.
نجيب كمان الشاشة لأنه راح يحكي examples.
And we decided that we want to give these developers a chance, once a quarter, to go and do whatever they wanted to do, to build whatever they wanted to do on whatever platform, whatever products. So we came up with this concept of a hack day. So it would be on a Thursday and a Friday, and it was a 24-hour thing, and we said to them, right, go away, do whatever you want to do, build whatever you want to do, add functionality or features to products that exist out there, build internal tools. And so we had all these developers doing that, and then on the Friday they would come back after the 24-hour period, and they would present what they'd done to a panel of judges. It would normally be senior execs from Yahoo, and they'd only have like 90 seconds or 2 minutes to present what they'd done. And it was a really good, fun event. It allowed people to really think outside the box. It really was a good way for us to drive innovation with our developers. And it was a good way for developers to show us things that they could do and things that they thought would be good for us to implement already on our network. So it worked really well internally in Sunnyvale. We then started doing it at some of our other offices around the world, especially where we had a large concentration of developers, like in Bangalore and Taiwan. And then someone came up with the concept of doing it as an external event. They said, why don't we invite a whole bunch of developers to come to a venue or to our campus, and we will then sort of show them some of the technologies, the forward-facing technologies that we have, that developers can use, some of our APIs, some of our services, some of our tools, and see what hacks they come up with in 24 hours. Again, at the end of that, we'll have they can demo those hacks to some judges and see what they come up with. So we did the first one in California, our head office in Sunnyvale, and it worked really well. And that was back in 2006. Yeah. Since then, we've done the event 16 times around the world. We've done it in Bangalore, in Taiwan, in Jakarta, in Brazil, in London, in New York, in Taiwan, in Romania. So the Open Hack event has really it's done really well. And for example, in the Bangalore event we did in July, we had 4,000 people applying to attend the event. And we only had space for about 600, so it was really hard for me to sort of say no to a lot of people. But we still had about 600 developers coming in from 20 different states. That's how popular the event's got now. Then, just after the Open Hack started, we decided, why don't we do this event with university students? And hence the HackU program came about. So we started doing the HackU program with some universities in the US, and now it's grown to around 9 universities in the US. We've also done it in Europe, and we've also done it in Asia as well. So we're very excited about doing the event here. It's the first time we're doing the HackU event in this region. Last year, Yahoo did come out here and did a developer event. It was a morning event, and we basically just introduced some of our core technologies to developers. So what's going to be happening from now until Friday? Well, today is just about introducing our technologies to you. You'll see on the schedule that we're going to be talking about things like YQL, YUI as well. We're going to be giving you an overview of all our tools and services and APIs as well. Jeremy's going to be doing that. We're also going to give you a sort of highlight on Mode 2, and we're going to be talking about securing the applications against web attacks. After that, you should have a good foundation, a good understanding of our technologies, but not to worry if you don't, because if you are going to be hacking tomorrow on Friday, we're going to have a whole bunch of people who are going to help support you. I'm going to introduce those guys to you in a second. So then, going into tomorrow, now, if you are going to hack, if you are going to be here for the sessions, hacking session tomorrow on Friday, you do need to register, and you should have registered here. Yahoo, HackU, Jordan.eventbrite.com. Now the reason we need you to register is because we do have a limited amount of space. Now, once you've registered, you'll just get a confirmation email from Eventbrite. I will be sending out confirmation emails that you have been accepted to the event by about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So please do try and register during the breaks or when you can at lunchtime. I don't know whether we're having a lunch, so there's a coffee break later on, but you can register there. How many people here have already registered or are thinking of coming to the hack event? Okay, that's really good. How many people are actually thinking of staying overnight, hacking through the night here? Oh wow, that's brilliant. So we will have Yahoo supporting you through the night. It's such an amazing event. I've done this now 16 times around the world. And hacking through the night, you said people just sort of falling asleep in all random places. But then funny things happen as well, like the electricity goes, or we get struck by lightning, or there's a flood. So yeah, I've seen it all. Alright, so tomorrow morning, we'll have people start coming in around 10:30. We're just going to do a quick overview again on what's going to be happening. And 11 o'clock, the 24-hour clock will start. Then you'll start your hacking. We will have some Yahoos to support you. Can I have the Yahoos please come on stage, guys? So I just want to quickly introduce you to the guys who are going to be here supporting you during the whole hack event. So just quickly.
My name is Ala. I'm here to help you for your hack. So if you have any questions, just let me know that and I will help you. I'm here to help you.
My name is Wissam. I'm senior engineer. If you want to ask anything related to Yahoo technologies, backend and frontend, I guess we have good knowledge to help you.
Hi, Zaid Al-Rusan, intermediate engineer at Yahoo. I'll help you same backend.
Hello, my name is Tarek Sbedi. I am a technical engineer at Yahoo, and I hope I can help you with your projects.
I'm Ali Rahahle, software engineer. I'm here to help you. I'm Mohammed Al-Qadi, software engineer. I will be happy to provide and support you.
I'm Bashir Mihyar, engineering manager. We'll be happy to help you.
Hi, my name is Anas. I will be here also to support you. Also, we have some more guys from our technical engineering team will be available tomorrow and after tomorrow and tomorrow night as well to support you.
Thanks, guys. So again, very quickly tomorrow, once the hacking starts, then we'll be serving lunch. After lunch, then again, we'll start with the hacking. There'll be dinner in the evening. We're going to have some snacks as well. If there's people staying through the night, I'm going to order some pizza from Pizza Hut. It looks really good. And then going straight into the morning on Friday, 8 o'clock, there'll be some breakfast. By now, you should be finishing off your hacks. We'll be giving you information during that whole period about where to register your hacks and anything like that. 11 o'clock, we'll officially close the hacking. After that, there's a break for some lunch and there's prayer. Then at 1 o'clock, everyone will be asked to come back, and then we will ask you to demo your hack. Now, you might be a team of 1, you might be forming teams of 2, 3, or 4. It's completely up to you. We want to say maximum of 4. Try to get a designer on your team so you can make a really cool-looking hack as well. And then we'll ask one person from each team to come on stage, and you'll have 90 seconds to present your hack. We'll guide you on how to exactly present, so we'll tell you the do's and don'ts of what to do during your 90 seconds. After that, we'll introduce the judges later. The judges will go away, they'll deliberate, they'll come back, they'll award the prizes. Do you guys know what the prizes are? All right, cool. And there's also an iPod and some other stuff as well. We'll also, for the hackers who are here, who are going to be hacking, we'll give you some swag. That's like t-shirts and stuff like that, stuff I brought along with me in my suitcase. And then that's it. Yeah, that will be it. So if you guys have any questions about the schedule or anything that's going on over the next 3 days, please find me. I'll be at the back over there. And are there any questions right now before we move on? Yes. Jeremy is going to give you all the information about, if you have no idea about what is hacking, what you should be doing, where do you start from, Jeremy's going to go into all of that now. He's going to sort of hopefully spark your imagination and maybe help you come up with ideas. The way I always say to hackers is try to think of a problem that's facing you, that you're facing right now, something out there that you're not finding online, something in your world that you're not able to do, and then see if you can find a solution to that. But Jeremy will go into more details on that. All right, so I'll hand it over to Jeremy Hubert. Thank you, guys.
Whoops. Hello, everyone. Marhaba. Okay. I'm trying to learn Arabic, but I'm very bad at it. So bear with me. You can teach me words over the next few days. I really appreciate it. And I'll return the favor by teaching you, I don't know, hacking. There you go, hacking. As Anil said, my name is Jeremy. I'm in California working for Yahoo. I've worked there for 4 years, and this is my 11th HackU. So I've been all over the world working with students at universities in India, Spain, all over the States, and now Jordan. Very happy to be here. Let's get started with some questions to get people's hands in the air. How many people in this room are from Jordan? Should be everyone. I'll get your hands up. How many people are in an engineering class? So computer science or mechanical or chemical, computer science, anything with the word science or engineering classifies as engineering. And how many people are in design? That's good. That's good. Everyone in design, keep your hand up. Everyone who's in sciences, find one of those people, because they will be very helpful. I'm more on the engineering side, and I love designers, because I make things ugly, and they make them pretty. So, I'm going to go through what it means to hack, what we mean by that, and I don't mean how to break into bank systems and cause a lot of chaos. I mean put something together in 24 hours that people go, wow, that is a good idea. And that's what we're looking for. As Anil said, we have some basic rules. They're very basic. We try to keep around 4 people per team. That's not because we don't want huge teams. It's mostly because we only have a few iPads. And unless you want, if you win and you have 16 people in a team, it gets complicated. You have to share the iPads on weekends. I get it on this day. You'd probably rather have your own. So small teams are good. You have 24 hours. That doesn't mean everything we see needs to be done in 24 hours. What that does mean is the idea that you put together should only have been done in the 24 hours. You can use libraries. You can do sketches and drawings beforehand. You can do research on the internet. You can set up a server if you need it, set up your school server so that it's ready to go. And you can do all that. You can also take something that you built before and make it better in 24 hours. You just have to tell us when you present what you've done so that we know how to judge it. That make sense? The other thing is there's 2 types of registering, which is a little complicated, but we have registering to come to the event. And that means that we have enough pizza for you. Because if you don't register, you might not get as much pizza. So registering for the event is important. The other one is when you have your hack idea, you need to register it at this URL so that we know to put you in the order to judge. So if you don't register before midnight, we won't have you midnight tomorrow. We won't have you in the list, so it'll be harder to figure out who is on the team, who wins the prizes, and what they're presenting. So So that's important, and we'll remind you about this as we go forward. The other thing is, this is a Yahoo sponsored event. Yahoo has a lot of tools that are very fun and easy to use that help build things quicker. But this is mostly about loving technology and web technology and coming up with fun ideas that are inspiring and entertaining that you like and that you can use. So you can use any technology you want. You don't even have to use web technology. You can build an iPhone or Android app. We've had people build hardware where they had devices in the room where they were running past each other in a physical demonstration of how to send messages using short message broadcast systems. It can be anything technology related that you love or care about or that are interested in. So you're not restricted to Yahoo technologies, although we are Yahoo and we like it if you use them, but that won't change the judging. So 24 hours to build a whole idea and put together a presentation and sell it and show that it works. That's pretty quick. I mean, we're not talking about a week, 2 weeks, this is one day. A lot of people, including myself, as Neil mentioned, will be here overnight, 24 hours straight through to help work with ideas. But that still means you have to work quickly. So you don't have a lot of time to spend wasting on complicated problems that don't apply to the hack. When you look at what you're going to build, you can revolutionize something, so totally change the way something works. You can automate something. Yeah, we've had students build course registration programs that make it easier to register for the courses they want, that goes through and looks at all the people that are registered and makes sure they can go in the right course at the right time, so it saves them time. You can just build something, like physical. We've had, in one hack, we had a puppy, a little dog running around with a collar on it that would make different noises depending on how fast it ran. Really weird, right? But it was cool, it was funny. Or you can fix something. If there's something out there that you just doesn't work the way you want it, you can dive in 24 hours and fix it. Change the way it works, make it better, make it worse, whatever you want to do. The important thing to keep in mind, though, is the prototype is not a product. You don't have to build the entire thing in 24 hours. What you have to build is enough to show what it's doing. So this is a proper, well, this isn't actually a proper product, but this is a complicated flowchart of how a proper product could look, right? You have to think about internationalization and translation and customer support and all these things that you won't have to think about in the next 24 hours. Building a prototype is a little bit more like this, right? You've got a problem, you do a bunch of magic, and you have a solution, and you show us the solution. In the next 48 hours, we're going to help you on the magic piece. We're not going to sit here, this isn't a university course, we're not going to walk you through all the right ways to do things, and the ways not to make mistakes, and how to build test cases. This is going to be how to be magical and make something fast. One of the keys to making a presentation and selling it, we have in California, I don't know about Jordan, but in California, there's a big startup community where people are getting lots of money for their ideas to build them into big companies. And one of the interesting things is they have to pitch. They have to sell their idea over and over and over again. So a lot of times people will say their idea is bad and they'll throw it out. And they wouldn't have wanted to do weeks and months of work for something that isn't going to sell. So the goal is to get the maximum effect with the minimum effort. Right? You make people go, wow, even though you only did one day's worth of work. Because you want them to buy in and say, this is a good idea, I support that, more than you need the technology to be proven yet, things like that. So my job at Yahoo, apart from coming and speaking with you, is I'm a prototype. I build prototypes. That means that I do this every day. Sometimes they've come to me and said, Jeremy, we have 4 hours to rebuild the way this thing looks. Can you do it? Of course I say yes, because I want to keep my job. So my job is to figure out how to do it fast, and a lot of times I cheat. This, for example, I was working on search. This is what we put in front of users, and everything you see here is fake. It's just a screenshot of the Yahoo homepage with a working form up top. So when the user comes, we tell them to search for something. They type in the form and they hit search. And they end up on the search page. So instead of building the entire front page again and building it exactly how we needed it, I took a screenshot, put it in Photoshop, made some changes, put it on a blank page with a working text box, and it was ready to go, and it worked, and the users knew no different. It was everything that we needed without all the work. Rebuilding the homepage probably take me 3 months. Screenshot, 10 minutes. So think about ways that you can take shortcuts to make a presentation that sells the idea without having to build all the things that you don't need yet. When you do, so if this was a business class or if this was a presentation and you presented it and people bought it and they're like, yes, launch that tomorrow, then you can say, okay, I need time to build it. But for the case of this, you can take shortcuts and present an idea and a dream and a vision without, if I get a double echo here, without building everything. So a little definition of what a hacker is. Now this is kind of, you know, inflexible, but we like simple graphs, right? Because you can look at them and go, oh, that's simple, I understand. I need simple graphs myself. Being able to dream of an idea and being able to put it into production or being able to sell that idea and put it together, that's kind of the intersection where a hacker in our mind lives. It's the creation of the idea and the demonstration of the idea as quickly as possible. We often talk about what a hack is in context. A hack is a good idea brought to life, but for the sake of HackU, I'm kind of okay with any idea brought to life. So it doesn't have to be a good idea, it doesn't have to be a great idea, it doesn't have to fix something and make the world a better place necessarily. It can just be something fun or something you want to learn. If you're interested in a new technology like Node.js, how many people here have heard of Node.js? How many people here use JavaScript? Okay, you want to learn about Node.js. All the people that didn't have their hands up in the first question and put it up on the second question, you want to learn Node.js. We'll help you learn, we'll show you why, and everything. So you could just tackle a problem that is new to you, and that's okay. If you can't think of anything good, or anything that you want to do at all, that's totally okay. Do something silly. Do something that makes us laugh, makes your friends laugh, puts it out there. One of the really nice things about HackU is that we're all students. Well, you're all students. I'm always a student. I'm learning from all the people at Yahoo. But the goal is not just to learn. It's not just to socialize with your friends. It's also to find ways to be valuable in the workplace and in life. And we have people who look at the HackU program from outside, venture capitalists, employers, everything. If you build something that gets you noticed, that gets you recognized, that gets people looking at it, regardless if it's silly or smart or fun, it still gets you noticed. It's something you can put on a resume. It's something you can get contacted about and have employers looking at you going, yeah, that was silly, but I like the way they did that. Or, that was fun, that made me laugh. I know who that person is. So like I said, I have done 11 of these. Well, this is the 11th. We've seen a lot of different ideas. We've seen a lot of fun stuff, a lot of playful stuff. I'm just going to run through a few that stand out in my mind so that you know kind of what we've seen. This was one of the winners from actually an open hack. Well, it was from HackU. He won, he got sent to an open hack in New York, and it was great. It looks very simple, but what this does is, in Canada, All of the government information is open sourced. So there's an API where you can pull every MP, every member of parliament who's ever voted, what they vote on. So you can go here and look up what area you live in and who represents you in that area and what they believe in, what they voted for, so that you can keep tabs on the people that you've elected to be in charge of the country. This is a very simple way to view all that information recently. He built this in 24 hours. It's very simple. It's some simple design. He used an API, he used YQL, which we'll talk to you about a little bit later, to pull data in, and just made something available searchable. Which, why? Because it's helpful. This one did something very similar. He took, who here knows what an insider trade is? Awesome. For those of you in the front, nobody behind you put their hands up, so don't worry if you didn't put your hand up. In the New York Stock Exchange, stocks are bought and sold all the time. Yahoo stocks are bought and sold not as frequently. If someone who owns a lot of shares in the company and works in the company sells a lot of stock, that is a sign that they might know something. So you want to pay attention to when the big people are selling or buying stock. But it's often hidden in a bunch of filings by the Stock Exchange Commission. And this was a simple way to take all those filings and bring them to the front so that average people could look at it and say, oh, Avago Technologies just sold 404 million shares. Maybe I should sell mine too. Those types of things. So it brought information to the forefront and made it more available to the average person, which is kind of awesome. This one here, I don't have it, well, I do have a demo of it, but I'm going to tell it without. Someone built a HTML page builder. So you pick the pieces you want from this column over here. It's like how wide you want it to be, how many columns, and you hit save file, and it built HTML for you so that you didn't have to build it yourself. The reason I'm not showing the demo yet is because Yahoo actually paid this person to come and work at Yahoo, and we now have this tool as part of our YUI suite. So Yahoo User Interface Library. This is actually part of it. And this came out of an open hack, or out of a university hack. And that might happen too. If there's something you build that's awesome, Yahoo will say, welcome to Yahoo. We'd love to work with you and bring you in, and you can build what you like or your idea inside a company that will support you and pay you and feed you, which is awesome. I like the feeding part. Especially, just as an aside, I ate dinner last night. Wow, the food here is good. Like, it's so good. I think I'm going to gain weight. Not that I need any more. One other thing to note. Everything you build here, you own it. Just because this is a Yahoo event and you have to put it in a tracker, we don't own any of this. Everything you build is yours. So we don't take any of your ideas without your permission. If we like something you build, we'll talk to you about either buying it or hiring you or anything like that. So you own it all, you can do whatever you want with it. I have no idea what that screenshot is. I don't know how this, yes I do. Sorry. Yes I do. You can't really see this here, but I'm gonna let him tell you. Basically, this hack that started at HackU was turned into a company, and they actually went out and tried to get funding and build this idea. What they do is they play Coldplay on their phone. This company visualization into web pages. Next to the browser scroll bar. We represent each user with a small colored triangle, positioned according to their real-time location on that web page. Web folders fly by hundreds or even thousands of other users that also happen to be on that web page, and activate picture begins to take shape, essentially a virtual crowd. This allows users to see where people are congregating on a web
not only allows more efficient traversal of information on the web, but it also allows users to locate more compelling content. Because people have a strong innate sense of crowd mechanics, this visualization is surprisingly intuitive.
So did that make any sense? They built a JavaScript layer on top of websites that shares information about where people are on the page, which is kind of neat. If you go to any website and see that nobody's looking at the top, everyone moves to the bottom. There's like a little comic in the middle that's funnier than the rest of it. And you can actually use that data to cut out pieces of websites and show the relevant piece instead of the whole thing, which is neat when you look at how you can manipulate data. This is one of my, I personally really like silly hacks. I mean, I'm not a really deeply technical person, so I just like laughing. This one here made me laugh. They took Google Maps. Yes, I like to use Google Maps. They took Google Maps. They read Street View data, and they built a game of Pac-Man on top of Google Maps. So it would actually, Pac-Man would follow the city map, and he would only be able to move where the city maps were. And he had little dots to the east, and he had the ghosts, the, Pac-Man. Dude, you guys have Pac-Man, Jordan? Yeah, okay. And this is also one of my favorites. They built a songwriting helper. So if you're writing poetry or music, they have this tool here, and you can write whatever you want. This is whatever I want. And it'll tell me the syllable count. So like, this is whatever I want, how the words break down, and give you rhyming words with the ones you click on. So if I click on moves, it will say, eventually, the rhymes are broken. Well, this is a 2-year-old hack. Anyway, the idea is that it'll help you write better. They also had a button here that they've removed that just randomized, so it picked out words and built new poems, which would often result in very funny automated poems. And one of my favorites. Does anyone here, have you ever heard of being rickrolled? So this is a strange one. Being rickrolled. So being rickrolled is when someone sends you a video or a link of something that you might like, or they think you might like, or they suggest that you might like it. And instead of it being that, it's actually a video of, a really annoying video, of Rick Astley singing a really obnoxious song. I'm not gonna, yeah, you know what, I will rickroll you all. Right. So these students, the idea is that you get so annoyed by this song because you see it, they'll be like, check out these cute kitty cats, and you'll get this guy. Right? Like, it's really mean. On the level of like evil genius, that's like way up there. That's mean. And so these students built the Rickroll remover. That was a Firefox and Chrome extension that if it detected you were about to be Rickrolled, it would warn you and help you leave the page before you got Rickrolled. Right? Really silly. No practical commercial value at all. Doesn't really make, well, it actually makes the world a much better place. But the funniest part was they got written up in newspapers all over the US because it was so silly and it talked about something popular on the internet that was funny. So you can really do anything. Like, if they could get away with this, they didn't win, I'm sorry, but if they could get away with this, you can get away with anything. And then at the end of the whole 24 hours, so we'll stay up with you all night. If you're staying up all night, we will work with you, we will help you present We will help you figure things out. You get to show it off. So you pick one person on your team. They get up here. Well, everyone can get up on stage, but you pick the representative who's going to be talking, and you demo your hack. As Anil said, you have 90 seconds. We generally break that down to take 15 seconds to talk about the problem. Like, the problem is that too many people are getting rickrolled. Right? Big problem. And then you show a live demo, so actually working demo of what you built, whether it's hardware and you're running laps around the building, or whether it's a website or an iPhone app, or whatever. You show that, and that should be the bulk of your presentation. And then you go into details about how you built it, like what technology you used or what you had to learn. So I didn't know anything about iPhone app, and 24 hours later I sold 1 million copies, right? Like those kinds of things. If we have questions, if the judges have questions, we'll ask you about that right afterwards. This is one thing that's really kind of touchy. Slideshows are back. So if you just put together a PowerPoint presentation about what you wanted to build and never actually built anything, that won't get you any bonus points. It won't get you any big applause. Just presenting an idea on a slideshow is something you should probably save for an executive board meeting, or explaining to your parents why you should stay later, or things like that. For us, we want to see working code. So we want to see or pretty designs or working hardware or something that you've actually built. Building an animation in a slideshow doesn't count. Again, we're full of resources. Yahoo has a ton of projects that we'll talk about. Many ways we can help you with JavaScript, CSS, things that skip over a lot of the hard work to get you faster. We will also be, if you're not in the room, because if you decide to go home and get sleep, or go home and work, or work from a restaurant or coffee shop, you don't have to be in the building where we're working to be participating in the hack. As long as you're back before like 11 a.m. the next day, you're good. So you can go home, and if you want to still talk to us, a number of us will be on IRC, which if you don't know what IRC is, don't worry about it. It'll take you 24 hours to figure it out anyway, because it's old and really complicated. But if you do know IRC, we'll be on IRC. We can also give you a chat for Yahoo Messenger or AOL or Google Talk or any of that if you need people to talk to when you're not in the office. Although being in the office is more fun because you get pizza, we'll play music, I might dance. I'm kidding. And we have a list of other sites that we will give you, and you can go and read these. And we've done this a lot, so we've built a lot of libraries that kind of help things through and talk through things. The other thing is, you are welcome to come and run your idea by us. How many people think they might have an idea of what they want to build? All right, so like 5 or 6? Good. Come talk to us if you don't. We can help you talk about things you care about, that you like. We can show you things you might be interested in. Run it by us. If we think it's a bad idea, we'll help you make it a good idea. If we think it's a great idea, we'll probably build it on our own. Just kidding. Just seeing how many people are still awake. This whole see you tomorrow at 10:30 piece was supposed to be at the last slide of the last talk, but this got moved. So stay here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. I think we're going to take a quick coffee break after some questions. If I remember the schedule right. Does anyone have any questions? Like, why is this guy still standing here? First person with a question gets a t-shirt. The question can't be, why is this guy standing here? All right, how about coffee break is being delayed a little bit here. Okay. There's a delay in the coffee question. Question? Yes.
Okay. Well, I know add something. What's that?
So I'll give you just a little bit of, who here thinks hacking is evil? Hacking is something that bad people do to cause a lot of people harm and steal credit card numbers. So the idea of hacking, so in the English term hack, it generally means take a shortcut or do something quicker than the recommended way. So when a hacker does break into a computer system, he is actually hacking because he is taking a different or shorter way into something that he shouldn't be into, right? Like the long way would be to go and get a job at the bank, learn about banking, get access to the keys, learn all the financing, get into the servers, and then steal the credit cards, right? But he's hacking. He's taking a shortcut and making a solution quickly to get to the result he needs. So there are bad hackers, people who hack into a system. And a lot of times we refer to that as cracking, because they're cracking security and breaking into a system. But the actual idea, the genus of hacking, is to create quickly, to get to a solution fast, and to find shortcuts into what you want to accomplish. So it's not just evil, and it's not just programming. It could be like someone who's a hack wood builder might hide the back panel of the cabinet he's building because it doesn't need to be pretty, because he's only going to have people look at the front. He's a hack. And then sometimes that's a negative thing, because people who say they're wood builders or cabinet builders but make bad cabinets because they don't do all the hard work required to make a good cabinet, people will refer to them as a hack. That person is a hack. People, so in English colloquialism, people would generally refer to that person as a hack. But with all that negativity, in this case, we actually want you to take the shortcuts. We actually want you to build something that works as opposed to doing it all the right way and never getting it done in time. So there's good times and bad times to be a hacker. Does that answer your question? Maybe a little too completely? Okay. Next question. T-shirt. Yes. Oh.
Are you going to support servers or something so we can broadcast it?
So we have, someone help me with this. I've been told that the students have web space that they can use for hosting certain things. Is that true? No? Okay. We have a number of ways that we can help with that. We can help you set up Amazon boxes to do your hosting, and we actually have some credits that I think we can give out to give you free server space for a month or for 6 months or something like that. We can help you get that set up. I own a box that I can put hacks on for presenting or demonstrating, but they will be taken down in 2 weeks. There is, some hacks may not require web space. Like if you do something on your laptop, you can present it locally, and you can just say this is what we did, and it can be running on your own server. Hi, video cameras. Other things, so yeah, to answer your question quickly, if you need web space to host this, and it's something that you want to host for a long time, or that you think you should host for a while, we can help you set up a server, and I know plenty of ways to make that free or cheap or really accessible. If you don't need a web server and you want to host it just on your laptop, you can plug your laptop in and demo it locally on your laptop. And if it doesn't require web server space at all, neat. Does that answer your question? Cool. Yes?
There's a really big audio that needs more than 24 hours speed, really. Is it okay to just like implement some of it and keep the other like not implemented, just like scratch, or I'm sorry, just like SketchUp on paper? is it by necessity need to be the whole implemented, or there's a way we can get away with it?
So, good question. The question, in case it didn't broadcast, was, do we need to build the whole idea? And no, you don't. If you want to build, there's two parts about presenting an idea, right? You're either going to sell an idea or pitch an idea, and you're going to say, this is the big dream of where this could be, right? But the trick is getting to somewhere where people will understand what the idea is. So if you want to build just, let's say, for a very simple example, you have 10 menu items and they all do different things, but you only have time to build 2, you can just mock up. You can just put the 10 in and make them not clickable. And then when you demo, you just demo the 2 and then talk about what the other 8 would do. Does that make sense? So like I said with that shortcuts one where they used the search box and they ended up on the search page, you can take shortcuts that make your presentation more convincing or better. And we actually recommend that because it helps get your ideas exposed, as opposed to showing like 30% of the whole idea and none of it works properly, showing 2 things that are 100% and the rest of them that are 2% is totally acceptable. Did you have a question? Yeah. Yes, I'll do something.
Just to do something, because people here think that HackU means bad or everything. Hack means to implement something very fast. So يعني بدك تعمل إشي فعليا سريع يعني إشي مفيد للبشرية زي ما حكى وإشي ممكن إنه يعني يحل مشكلة معينة مثلا فهو مش bad thing يعني مش bad meaning. Bad meaning هو الكراكرز أو الاتاكرز اللي هم بسموهم bad evils. بس in general hacking means to implement something وإنك تعمل إشي.
شكرا. Yeah, that's right. I'm not American, I'm Canadian. Does that make a difference? Okay. So I'm going to, coffee break's been a little bit delayed, so I'm going to talk to you about the Yahoo Developer Network, or as we shorten it to, YDN. Yahoo loves acronyms, so you'll see a lot of them, YUI, YQL, YDN. Most of them have Y in front of them. If there's anything that you don't understand, just ask us, because a lot of them I don't understand them either, and I can help you look them up. But Yahoo Developer Network. Yahoo Developer Network. Okay, the Yahoo Developer Network. It's just at developer.yahoo.com. And this is where we host everything that we provide to developers externally that they can use and play with. And we actually internally use a lot of this ourselves. So YUI, YQL, Place Finder, Maps, all that stuff. We use that inside Yahoo to build our products, and we make it available so that other people can use it to build their products. And it's really all here. Everything from APIs and tools, to documentation, support forums, other resources like IM names and stuff like that, they're all here. We also run a blog series where you can go and learn about like breakthroughs in, we run a blog series where you can go and find out about breakthroughs in web technology, ways to make things faster. You can download developer tools and really get started with our API program. In order to really take advantage of the developer portal, you're going to need a feed. How many people here have Yahoo accounts? All right. For the rest of you, you're going to need a Yahoo account don't worry, you can sign up with your Facebook. How many people have Facebook accounts? It's okay, so do I. I love Facebook. You can sign up with your Facebook account or your Google account or whatever and get access to the developer network. To do that, you can get a